want to play you one from April 23rd,
Oh yeah.
2024.
Okay.
It's just a quick one.
Sell the fucking team. I've seen enough.
That's where people were this time last year.
We had hundreds of those. Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. Houston Astros winner of the last 5 of 6. Producer Josh on camera. B-Dog is
Still
traveling abroad. He's in his Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, he's backpacking around just America.
Just
Old school
Eat, Pray,
style.
Love. But get your brooms out. First one of the season. Just a mistake on us not having a broom on camera right now. But taking...
I have a rake over there.
Yeah, you do have the rake. Taking 3 from the Blue Jays after taking 2 from the Padres. A homestand, 5-1, that plays. Much needed. The Astros currently, housekeeping notes, sitting at 13-11, 1 game back of the South Oklahoma Rangers at 14-10. The Seattle Mariners are 13-11. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at 11-12. And the Athletics of Sacramento, 11-13, 3 games back. AL West kind of jumbled up, but the big precursor, I don't know if that's the right word there, but precursor, run differential plus 11 for the Houston Astros, leading the AL West. The only other positive team is the Mariners at plus 3.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the Rangers,
You want to take a wild stab?
they had the best record in AL, right?
Behind the Yankees and Tigers.
Okay.
Second best.
They are, what, minus 10?
Minus 14.
Jesus.
They're was it Paragathirum?
Yes.
Paragathirum theorem?
We don't come here to play school.
Expected win-loss is 10-14 for the 14-10 Rangers.
They'll
The
come back to
expected win-loss for the Houston Astros is 13-11. So, as you all know, we're math guys, and the Astros are mathing. So,
and Jock Peterson finally got a hit. Going over 40-something.
Yeah.
What it ended up being.
Yeah, I think 5 out of 6 on the homestand.
When's the last time the Astros had a homestand like that? Can you remember?
It's felt like years.
I
mean, I'm sure it was probably like...
I'm sure they had a homestand like that last year, but
yeah, I mean, they were so possessed last year that
in that second
after
half.
the
It just feels like such a relief. Like my whole body feels like looser.
Yeah, it
That
doesn't
makes sense. Pause, maybe. I don't know,
yeah.
but like I just feel
feel
better. It feels good.
The air's cleaner.
The
coffee tastes better.
I didn't get an air quality alert here in Houston today, which is
the sun is shining. The sun's peeking through the clouds.
Yeah,
everything's better. Winning cures everything. But I think one of the biggest, in all seriousness, the biggest thing that we've talked about since the season ended last year, that this team is going to be built around their starting pitching. And when you have the best team in the National League come in, and then the Blue Jays, who were kind of not white hot, but playing good baseball,
hitting the ball well,
the starting pitching for the Houston Astros fucks. Simple as that. Sorry for all the kids listening, but they fuck.
Most runs they allowed in that entire homestand was 4 to the Padres in that first game. Then it was 2. Then it was 3, and 0, 1, and 1. That's a hell of a. And they lost 1 game, 3-2.
That plays.
That's how it goes.
I think one of the big key things, and Chandler wrote about it, about the ghosts of last year's April, and he had a really good article this morning on The Athletic. But the Astros are sitting at 13-11. They were 7-17 this time last year.
Yes, God, I remember.
We'll post some clips because that was our infamous. That's when we did the voicemail.
Yeah.
The very first voicemails we did. That episode popped. Obviously, we've been carrying that bit, the voicemail bit, for the rest of the year. We'll do that this year as well. But it's crazy in 1 year's time how everything is radically different. And it goes to the starting pitching. And it's not you're not trotting out Verlander, Garrett Cole. You're not trotting out all these dudes of golden age past. It's Ryan Gusso that's been thrown into the mix because Spencer gets hurt on a freak accident, who gives you 5 2/3 of 1-run ball, right? It's Ronel Blanco, who in his last 2 turns in the rotation, it looks like he's in form. His slider on that would have been Tuesday night is dominant. As if he has that the rest of the year. I don't know if you saw, he was a little shiny. I don't know if you saw. He was a little shiny. You get that? Look, if Blanco's got that shine, you know that shine going through the year, that wipeout slider, it plays. And then Mr. Hunter Brown. I've been waiting. I have purchased.
You have
2 tickets at plus 1,600 odds.
Damn.
For Hunter Brown Cy Young, and plus 1,100 odds the day after his start. So on Monday before his start, I got it at plus 1,600.
Oh,
Locked
jumped
it in.
500 after
And
one start.
And after the Monday start, where he went seven
yeah.
and 8 punchies, his odds for AL Cy Young are now plus 1,100. And I snagged some value there. I'm going to snag value all the way down because it's going to be Hunter Brown and Garrett Crochet and Skubal at the very end. So I'm going to keep gobbling up pause. I'm going to keep purchasing value on the way down.
Stop gobbling.
And yeah, we're green goblin. And Hunter Brown is your AL Cy Young winner.
Speaking of those voicemails, I want to play you one from April 23rd,
Oh, yeah.
2024.
Okay.
It's just a quick one.
Sell the fucking team. I've seen enough.
That's where people were this time last year.
And we had hundreds of those.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Hundreds.
I can't. I played a quick one. There was.
Sign up for our
20.
Patreon. We'll release all those 100 voicemails.
Release the voicemail.
Release the voicemails.
Snyder cut.
Release the Patreon. Yeah, I mean, 365 days. 365 days ago, Hunter Brown was about to be optioned down, and he's going. We're about to go to Kansas City, where it kind of all happened.
Play Kansas City last year.
Like a Freaky Friday thing happened. It was a day game. We were all sitting out here watching it.
I remember it was fucking
Sam came by and everyone.
sad.
It was very sad vibes.
It was oh yeah, it was April 10th. Or
So
11th,
2 weeks ago.
I can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, not great. I will say this. Welcome to 2025, Christian Walker. All you had to see was DeZenzo get a start in front of you, hit a couple.
Yeah.
And now Walker's like 5 for his last 6.
Whatever nap he took on that day off, I was like one of those naps that just changes your life.
Yeah.
Came out of it ready to hit.
Man.
I mean, he went, 5 hits in a row, got on base like 6 times in a row. I think went overall like 5 for 8 on the homestand or something like that. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think and I think Josh Hader said this in this post game yesterday, and I want to talk about Josh Hader as well because he's worth every penny of that $95 million. I know last year. I mean, yeah, last year he had the run of solo shots and whatever, but his usage last year was like the most expensive holder of all time because he was like
by this point last year he had gone 2 innings like 5 different times.
Yes,
and only had 2 saves.
Yes, and he was pitching in like in the 8th and 9th just to hold games, and then we'd obviously lose in extras. His usage, and I tweeted it, was at 71% for a sinker in 2024. He's at 55% sinker, and his slider.
Still in that slider like crazy.
Let me actually pull it up and not do it off the top of my head.
While you're pulling that up, I mean, I'll just run through his numbers on the year. 13 innings pitched, 17 Ks, 0.69 WHIP, and a 0.69 ERA. Nice.
That plays. Absolutely plays. What's his WAR right now? I bet it's almost 1.
Baseball reference. His WAR is
0.69. 0.9. Yeah,
it's almost 1.
So in 2024, Josh Hader, 8-8, 3.8 ERA, 71 games, 34 saves, 71 innings pitched, 105 strikeouts.
Solid year.
.96 we have.
Like a decent year for most people.
Absolutely. A ton of punchies, too. I mean, almost 2.5 per. This year, as you said, 1-0, .69 ERA through 11 games, 7 saves, 13 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, a .69 whip. His pitch usage, that word is
It's tough.
The usage of his pitches in 2024, sinker 71%, slider 27%, changeup 1%.
That was 2024?
That was 2024.
That's a lot of sinkers.
2025, 57% sinker,
Damn.
39% slider, 4% changeup.
So changeup.
Changeup ticked up a little bit,
Yeah, just barely.
but the slider, he
I
brought
mean-
his sinker usage down. He's hammering the zone with the slider.
Well, he's a lot more accurate with it. I'd say this year, from what I've noticed. Like
he's on that page, dude. That's for the graph.
That's all red.
Yeah, all red.
I mean, he's doing a great job of throwing the slider outside the zone when it needs to be outside the zone, and in the zone when it needs to be in the zone, and not making that mistake of leaking it over when it doesn't need to be.
Well, it also his greatness, right? Like his sustained greatness as a pro.
Yeah.
He throws 2 pitches.
Basically,
It's sink or slider. He'll
Yeah.
obviously occasionally drop the changeup in, but it's sink or slider. Like it's
2 pitches.
you're up there. Hey, slider in on me, sinker sinker 2 seam away, and he just commands the zone.
And maybe it has less to do with the slider being more effective, but more to do with having them more even. Half and half.
Yeah,
Makes the batter have to guess more. Because last year maybe they fell into a rut of, well, he throws a sinker 75% of the time, so I'm just going to guess sinker, and if I'm right, I get a hit.
Yeah. I mean, all this red on his Savant page. I just want to say the British are coming. Like, it's so much red. So I want to definitely mention that on today's episode, how dominant he is. But the offense, and long-winded Hader in his post game had mentioned, hey, we're winning, we're doing all this stuff, right? We kind of got out of this little 500 rut of our tires, just kind of spinning.
We were saying at the time, not a bad rut to be in.
Nah, we've seen worse.
We've
seen worse.
Like we were saying at the time, all they need is to break out from that. But they were, playing 500 ball is not the end of the world.
If we get positive regression to the mean with the entire offense,
Yeah, at the same time,
we're rolling, boys and girls. Like that's when it gets fun. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but it feels like this offense is just ready to take off. And I think obviously it's the big man that has to get it going. And I feel I don't think he's the Kansas City series, like where it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think he's 1 series away from, okay, because he missed 2 last night.
That bases loaded,
sack fly.
Off the bat, I was like, oh, that's gone. That's a grand slam.
It just seemed like he missed it a bit.
A little bit
under
off the end of the bat or something.
And then he had the other one to right field that Springer was up against the wall that went a country mile up. And I was like, oh, he's close.
Yeah.
He's almost like he's getting that timing back. He gets going. Obviously, Walker gets going. Paredes is going to consistently give you his Crawford shots. Pena's playing. I mean,
Can we talk about Jeremy Pena? Is there time?
Has he moved into Bobby Witt's neighborhood? Is that premature?
I would say he's whatever. If the name of the neighborhood is Eagle Crest, whatever.
Good pull.
He has moved into the neighborhood. He's on the first street in the neighborhood.
All right.
Bobby Witt's back there, deep in the neighborhood.
Okay.
But he's on the first street.
Okay.
Maybe one of the little cul-de-sacs, but he's not like deep back there.
He's in. I know they shook up the offense a little bit. They moved Jordan to the 2-hole. I think because teams weren't at that time were not pitching. They weren't scared of Christian Walker or Yainer Diaz behind them.
It had more to do with Christian Walker than it did Jordan.
So move to have that wherewithal to move Jordan up and not just let it sit and fester for another month. Great. Jeremy in the 4-hole is kind of crazy, but
I would never have guessed it, but it's working.
Yeah, you rock with it. And his defense, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I underestimated the hire of Perez Chica.
Good pull.
I last year on the pod got a lot of heat saying, hey, maybe it's Gary Pettis' time to kind of step away. We need kind of fresh blood over at third base. He retires. They go and hire Perez Chica from Arizona. He comes with the background and everyone in the media is talking about, oh, he's great defensively with the guys. He does all this stuff, X, Y, Z. In the back of my mind, I was like, well, Joe Espada was the infield coach. I mean, obviously he has head coach duties. Like, what is
how much of a difference?
How much margin are you really gaining? And I understand a constant pro. He's known for that in the show. I just didn't even think it was a whole data point. I was wrong. That's a huge data point.
Well, I mean, the
defense is amazing.
They clearly, with their free agent signings and trades and moves and everything, clearly in moving Altuve to left field, they wanted to emphasize infield defense.
Yes.
Which they should have with so many ground ball pitchers in this staff. And I think Astros fans are taking it for granted, but can you think of there's maybe one mistake that comes to mind for the infield this entire year? Was like a Brendan Rodgers boot that I can remember.
Yeah.
And like maybe one where Altuve missed a throw or something.
Double play.
There's just like, we take it for granted because I guarantee if you watch another team every game this year,
oh yeah,
they're making mistakes. Maybe not every night, but every other night in big moments. Meanwhile, this team is just making every play and making every play look athletic and, fundamentals just being used. And speaking on Jeremy there, I think a lot of his issues in the past were the fundamentals. He's always been athletic.
Yeah.
He's always been extremely athletic. He has the range, he has the arm, he has the glove. But I think his issues in the past have been kind of fundamental, kind of the easy plays, transfers, things like that, getting the ball in the glove. But whatever they're teaching in the lab over there, he has just been phenomenal this year.
Well, also I think, and this it's a two-way conversation. When you spend the money and you trade to get your corner infield spots, we obviously saw there was a lot of internal pressure on the guys, and not breaking news, I think they're out of that kind of self-pressure that they put on. They never let their offense carry over to defense with Isak Paredes and Christian Walker over the last month when things weren't going the way they wanted to. That's a huge thing. The second thing, having an elite Gold Glove first baseman.
Oh my God!
And I think we kind of got away from. Obviously, we got away from it when Yuli left, and then the Abreu platoon saga of it all. But people forget how great Yuli was as a vacuum at first base. Christian Walker is just like that as well. I mean, maybe even better.
I would say yes.
Maybe
I liked Yuli, and we're not gonna be a pod that's like shitting on him or anything, but like Chris, it's probably the best first base defense I've seen since I was a kid.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean,
like,
yeah,
like any foul ball on the right side, I have full trust that Christian Walker is gonna not only run it down but make it look easy.
Yes.
And in the past, with some of the first basemen that the Astros have had, it looked like
triangle of terror was a lot of terror.
It looked like a Bermuda Triangle. They were over there like trying to like, and Christian Walker just like strolls over there and then basket catches it like nothing. And I'm just like, we're gonna take that for granted.
Well, because I think you're right. I'm gonna even go further. I think when you stay athletic up the middle with Jeremy and then either Dubon and Rogers, and obviously Jake.
Yeah.
That Bermuda Triangle with those guys being athletes up the middle are a lot easier to cover, especially with the first baseman being very, very good at what he does defensively. Hey, also shout out to the young kid that's not played right field ever in his entire life. He's running down balls and making plays that are very, very difficult.
There's a Twitter account called I think Warmonger.
Good name.
Yeah, it's great. War. Yeah.
War's bad. Baseball War's good.
Baseball War's good. But he's known for breaking down like the defensive metrics and like analyzing which metrics are good, which metrics aren't. I think we're still a few years away from really trusting all defensive metrics, like catch probability, all that stuff. Well, one thing he breaks down is like outfielder jump and route efficiency and all that stuff. And Cam Smith has been consistently popping up on there for having elite jump as a right fielder. And that's tough. Playing a new position to trust yourself enough with the slice or with the angle from a pulled lefty ball to trust yourself off the bat to have that jump.
Oh yeah.
That's just, and then you combine that with his speed. I mean, he gets to almost anything out there.
I mean, anything on the net, which is going to his left, which is going to be difficult to cover all the ground, has been a vacuum. Just making every play.
That one the other night, right up against the net, he snagged it and made it look easy.
And the discourse online of Jose Altuve playing left field is completely mute. Completely mute.
Who would have called that? Who would have thunk?
So shout out to Jason Bell, shout out to Dave Clark for getting those guys and put in the right position at all. Shout out to Jake. They talk a lot behind the scenes about how much Jake puts in for the corner outfield spots.
The leadership aspect is huge. Very interesting. Jake's kind of a quiet guy in the media, and on the surface.
We'll try to get you on a pod when B-Dog's traveling abroad.
Yeah. But it's really cool to hear that he's taking that leadership role, and especially somebody like Altuve, but Altuve, obviously, if you're from Houston, his personality, you know how humble he is. Like, that's not surprising at all to us. But from the outside perspective, if you told me this future Hall of Famer vet is moving to the outfield,
he's 35,
and this third year, always kind of platoon outfielder's the one teaching him and like leading him, I'd be like, there's no way. He probably has some attitude about it or something. But
I think it goes back to your original comment of fans of the Astros going to watch other teams play on an off day, right? Before the NFL draft. Go put on MLB Network. There'll be a game on. There's not a seasoned Hall of Fame vet at 35 years old changing positions for the betterment of a team. It doesn't happen.
No.
The only way it happens is if they move to DH.
Yeah, I was just saying.
That's the only move.
Like, I can just hit all day. Like that's like not hard.
That's what they do. Yeah. When you're an aging veteran who's going to be a Hall of Famer. Oh, I'm gonna go DH. Yeah. Saying that, all of that on the defense, I want to say something about our guy Isaac Paredes. There's maybe been one play, and I think it was last night or the night before, that the words that came out of my mouth was, "Oh, Alex Bregman would have made that play."
Yeah, and even that was like,
even then, it was so tough. It was a ball down the line, ripped. He laid out. It was
a Springer.
Yeah, Springer and Vladdy scored on the ball. That's the only play all year I have said, well, Alex Bregman makes that play.
Yeah, he surprised me.
And we are 24 games into the season.
Yeah, that
is a just hat tip to Isaac Paredes. His defense has been phenomenal. Everyone's defense has been phenomenal, but that is something I wanted to say on the pod as well, because I didn't think that was going to be the case coming in the season.
I kind of knew he had the hands, but I was worried about the range.
Yeah,
and he's had it. He made that double play a couple nights ago look easy. Dove, took his time, seed to second, throw to first, huge double play. He's good. He's better than I expected. I thought he was going to be solid, but he's not like a guy that was touted for his defense. It was bringing his bat to Houston. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I think everybody's pretty happy where the team's at. We'll hopefully just hope that
it's carried on. Well, also, I know what are we on time? Pushing up on it,
like 25.
We'll end it with this. Hunter Brown, Ronel Blanco, Ryan Gusto combined for 19 1/3 innings. Only allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, and 4 walks while striking 18 against Toronto, posting a .93 ERA. The bullpen, 7 2/3 scoreless innings in the series with 9 strikeouts, 2 hits, and 1 walk. Those stats are provided by Brian McTaggart of MLB.com.
Can we shout out Forrest Whitley?
Dog.
You called it.
Dog.
He's up at the right time to do what you were saying. What did you call 100 punchies?
100 punchies.
He got two
Two.
in 2 innings. So
I don't know, Jim.
I mean, having that weapon, and especially bringing Ort up, like
That's gonna be huge
for the bullpen. The issues all year have only been really those kind of the weak spots. You know, where it was Luis Contreras or Taylor Scott a little bit, but you kind of what's the weakest link? If you're only as strong as your weakest link. If your weakest link is Caleb Ort or Forrest Whitley, like that's pretty good.
What about Mr. Brian King, who's just coming in efficiently, throwing one pitch, getting one out? It seems
who would
in
have
high
thought,
leverage spots.
If you told Dusty 2 years ago, that our 7, 8, 9 guys were 2 lefties, he would've.
I think Dusty would have given his right arm for one lefty.
Yeah.
Let alone the 4 we have. No, I think with Ort coming back, Whitley coming back, and with everyone's production so far, there's a really, really high floor. And I think the only issue is now just like keeping the guys engaged day to day under the grind.
If the starters keep doing what they're doing, you don't have to, last year I feel like by this time, we talked about Hader having to go 2 innings so often last year. By this time, it felt like the bullpen was already underwater. Between the starters not going long enough and the offense not scoring and so many extra inning games. They've had 1 extra inning game this year so far.
Yes, the Seattle?
Yeah, I think the Seattle game. That's it. Last year by this time, I feel like they had 5 extra inning games. Bullpen was drowning. Starting pitching wasn't going 6 or 7 like they need to. But if the starters keep it up, the bullpen can be on a routine. And if the bullpen's on a routine, this bullpen can be dangerous.
Well, also, with everyone kind of the high floor and everyone being as good as, like you said, I think I trust all those guys outside one arm right now to take the 7th and 8th inning.
Yeah,
like if Brian Abreu needs a breather.
Yeah,
that's okay. Let's end with this. Do you have any, I guess, concern? Any data points that are popping up that you're gonna be like, hey, I just want to put a finger on this. It's not a huge thing, but I just want everyone watching to.
For the team?
Yeah, just for the team of just after 24 games. We've been so positive. I'd also
we have been really positive this episode, and part of the
helps,
what is
helps
the whole
with
thing?
The sweep.
Never get too high, never get too low.
Never get too high, never get too low.
Man, it's tough after a sweep to really find it because it was the offense by far, and I think I'm still gonna say the offense.
Okay. Do you want a little bit more time because I have a specific offense?
Sure, you go first.
Slugging.
Yes.
A lack of pop, which I think is going to come when we led with all these other guys positive regressing to higher OPSs over 700. Yeah. We'll see the pop. I'm a little concerned. I think they're 1 bat away. I think when you look at the offense, 1 power bat away, and if you have a surplus of pitching, maybe that's how you get that bat. Like I wish there was like a Santander, like a 35-40 guy. Like there's someone in there that you just kind of extends the lineup a little bit more because we're athletic. It very much feels like a 2015 fun team of just energy, new blood. But you looking back and like, hey, this team is young, dumb, and they could do it, but they're still missing some pieces.
Well, to that point, last night, all fun, swept, everything's great. They still only won 3-1 in a game where I think it was, all but like a few innings, they had multiple runners on.
Yeah, a lot of singles.
That second inning where they scored 3, they should have put up 6.
Yeah.
They had bases loaded, no outs.
They only
got 1 run out of it.
Yeah.
So I to your point about slugging, having that guy, whoever can just get the big hit, I think is everything. Having, DeZenzo apparently is that guy. Just out of nowhere, he comes up. I think every opportunity with with runners on base or runners in scoring position, he gave a great at bat, took the ball the opposite way.
What, 5 knocks on the series?
Yeah, I mean, whatever his stats are for the year, they jumped.
Like he looks like a big leaguer.
Yeah,
he looks like a Major League Baseball player.
you have a problem with the outfield.
Yeah.
Like who to play.
It's gonna be a little shuffle.
To that point, and to the point of potential trades or things that could happen. My concern right now, even though the team's doing well, is what is Framber Valdez going to look like over the next few months? Because right now, I'm concerned about him.
I'm moving him.
That's my point.
And I said it.
Are you waiting? Are you still waiting to move him?
I said it in the offseason. Yeah, I think his value is going to be the highest at the deadline. We saw the Baltimore Orioles give one of their top 10 prospects for a guy they DFA'd a month later. Like, his value is going to be... I think there's a scenario where you have a surplus of starting pitching. Garcia comes back. There's a lot of big ifs.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of time between here and there. But there's got to be somewhere on the board if you're forward thinking, hey, I think we can win in the playoffs. If the playoffs start tomorrow, Hunter Brown, Lance McCullers Jr., Ronel Blanco, Hayden Wesneski, Spencer Arrighetti.
Gusto at this point too.
Right.
Those guys there's enough arms.
What if we go get a coup for a guy that's going to get $200 million?
Yeah.
No, so I think that's legitimately there.
My worry is, you're trying to make it to the gas station and you're sputtering. And does he continue to struggle and lose value by the deadline?
Yeah.
Or do you try and move him earlier? If he has a hot stretch in May, and with the inside knowledge the Astros have on him, obviously, like, they know him more than anybody. Are they like, let's sell him at this peak of his performance right now in May, rather than worrying about him
early?
I know. I don't think you would. I'm just saying I'm worried about, like, if there was an odds I could put $10 down that Framber is the worst starter in your rotation over the next 2 months, I would put $10 down on it.
Yeah, I mean
and the odds would probably be pretty good because that's not what you expect. But with the way the other guys are pitching,
how engaged will he be if he doesn't have to be the savior?
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, if especially,
or is he better? Is he better that there's no pressure?
So far, he hasn't been.
Yeah.
So, and it's
I'll
only
say
it's only a
he
few
did
starts.
pitch his ass off Sunday night. He after the Arise delay and the Machado delay, like, he could have easily spiraled out. He did it. He pitched.
But it's the inconsistency that
that's fair.
I'm worried about. No, I'm not saying I'm not being super doom and gloom. I think he could be fine. I just was looking at one aspect of the team right now that I'm a little bit worried about moving forward. And the fact that Hunter Brown is pitching so well. And did you see what Joe Espada said? I can't remember the exact words, so I'm talking out of my ass a little bit. But on the which broadcast was it, Monday or Tuesday? He basically said Hunter Brown is like the leader of his pitching staff. Leader was the word that was used, and I was like, I clocked that because I was like, that's kind of wild to say when you have your opening day starter.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. What I'm worried about, not only physically with his performance, but mentally and emotionally, as you're getting to that deadline, and he's hearing rumors of he could be a potential trade candidate. Does that make him perform better or worse? Does he get in his head a little mentally? Like, I'm worried about that situation, the whole situation devolving a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Feels like one of those, like in Oppenheimer, where they're like, it's like 1% chance the whole atmosphere blows up. We don't know.
Exactly
we don't know until we actually drop it and test it until theory is actually reality.
I put it at 5%.
Yeah,
right now.
We're in the bunker taking odds of like if the world's gonna come to an
just something to look out for.
No, I think so. And we'll end it. My only last concern data point through 24 games. I think you got to find a default 8th inning guy in the sense of through 24 games, Brian Brady's been in half. And 50% so far. That's a lot of usage so far.
That's a lot of usage.
That's a lot. Hader in 11. Hader's thrown 13 innings. Brady's thrown 11 and 2/3. So that's just
That's a lot. Brian's kind of used to it though, as long as his arm
for sure. I'm just
holds up.
the thing in the back of my head, and it's not fair because his team is so good, his organization is so good. There's so much pedigree. This one nasty taste in my mouth is just like how tired these guys were at the end of last year.
Yeah, that's
and I
very
just like
valid.
we can't do that again.
And maybe somebody like Forrest Whitley steps up into that, like
Or
maybe he's not
like you
the
do by
7th or
committee.
the 8th or the 9th guy, but Forrest is a guy that you can slot in.
Yeah,
If Brian just pitched two games in a row, you can put him in the 8th.
yeah.
And try him out there. Or even if Hader's pitched 2 or 3 games, of a series, you're like, okay, Forrest.
Yeah.
Here's the ball.
Yep.
Get the win.
Yeah, just a data point.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But we'll end it with that. The Astros take on the Royals coming up.
I hate playing in Kansas City. I hate when they go to Kansas City. So I just maybe it's PTSD from 2015
It is.
in that team, but just they get to me. I always they always
Going back there
hit
for
a
that
little
game
off
5.
the end of the bat, like blooper, and then another guy comes up and he hits a infield hit, and then there's they steal bases, and then
Hey, we're still
all
in
of a
bases.
sudden it's 4-1. And
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck just happened?
I think we're gonna.
I'm worried about
see
Bobby Witt's gonna steal 10 bases.
Bobby Wood Jr. may break Ricky Henderson's record this weekend alone.
Yeah.
Take his prize picks.
Yeah.
Use code Apollo. Shout out to Zing Zang. You Zing, we Zang. We had the Michelada mix, the Margarita mix, the Blazing Bloody Mary with the vodka infused already. Get yours at Specs. HEB. That's where I pick mine up. Head over to zingzang.com. Also head over to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint, 13 locations. This is dropping today.
Yep.
NFL draft.
Yep,
NFL draft.
tonight.
Wings, drinks, football, NFL draft, Big City Wings. Head over to their locations, follow them, and Kobe Stevens. I'm rocking my Kobe Stevens Yoggers. Still need to get Josh Pear.
Yeah, I need to get some of those.
Go over to Kobe Stevens, follow them. Men's line, women's line, golf line, outdoor line, everything in between. They're really, really blowing it up. So shout out to Kobe Stevens. Go KobeStevens.com. So shout out to everyone. Shout out to you guys. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, leave a 5-star review.
Speaking of the draft, we will be live tonight.
Live draft
From
show
right here.
tonight from
Watching
the
the draft,
dungeon.
watching the rumored Texans might trade up.
Yeah, a lot
Even
of
outside of the
rumors.
Texans, it's a very interesting draft all around.
It's
so.
big insider day.
Big insider.
Big insider day, big rumor day. But yeah, shout out to
Who are the Cowboys drafting?
I don't know. Don't follow. Fan of the Shield. I'm gonna be at attention for the commissioner and the Shield. All first round.
You be Rogers and Forsberg.
No, I'm just the Shield.
Mm.
The Shield protector. Some say Captain America. I don't know.
I think you're going Michael Chiklis, The Shield. Remember that show?
That actually would have been good pull.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond That One podcast.
Sweeps are nice.
Sweeps
are nice.
We'll be live tomorrow.
We should do
Talking
more.
to you some more. We should just keep sweeping.
We should maybe just sweep for the rest of the year.
Maybe we sell
Maybe
Apollo
don't
brooms.
lose.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Thanks for
bro.
watching. Go Astros.
Peace. Love you guys. See you on the Friday show.